hooks me out of by the elbow as I'm walking past the kitchen during a show. And she says, "Hey, you remember Dee over here?" I went, "Yeah, I do." And she says, "He's got some art in here you really ought to see." And we walk into the kitchen, and he's got the Doak Sneed poster, the one that looks like it's an animated cartoon.
The one I almost learned on. Right,
magnificent piece of art. And at that time, I had the job of finding enough poster artists to promote the shows that we were getting more and more and more shows booked. And man, we had to promote them some kind of way. We didn't have any money. And so I was hiring everybody I could find that could draw, and this guy was blowing my hat in the creek. And fortunately, he said yes. And here we went. And we had a pretty good time. We joined a pretty good company there. Ken Featherston, myself. Jim Franklin was gone away off to Oklahoma, but he came back in a few months. Who else was working with us right about then?
Michael Osborne was.
Well, he was kind of giving us a roof to do it under. Jerry Harper. But I'm trying to think of other artists. It was pretty much the three of us for a while there.
All right.
And I remember a really particularly fun period when I think Featherston did Franklin, and then Juke did a Featherston.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it was.
And then we started doing each other, and it got completely carried away.
Yeah.
And Sam Yates shows up and does a poster.
It looked like
that we all thought each other had done,
right.
And we didn't know Sam. And then it turned out it was none of us had done it. It was this new guy, Sam, and he said, "Well, I just saw that y'all had this style, and so I just did it in your style." And when we discovered we had...
You could have sued.
...had developed a homogeneous style, we freaked out. And I went off cartooning, Garrett went off, that's who else it was working with us, it was Garrett. Went off into his hyper-realistic surface renderings, and Juke went abstract Cubist bebop on us.
Cubist bebop.
Featherston went airbrush.
Featherston went airbrush. Man.
Well,
Chick Corea's playing tomorrow night, and that was Featherston's first airbrush, was his hand on the piece.
Diodato.
Oh, that was Diodato. Which one was the Chick Corea one?
I don't know.
I remember one, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway. Oh, well. Let's talk about your art.
Okay.
Of which we have a plethora, nay, a panoply of prints.
A cavalcade.
A cavalcade.
A veritable cavalcade
yes.
of Jukean art, right here.
I now have the ability to make my own art at home.
We were talking about that last.
And we're hoping y'all have a color television to watch this on.
I don't think they make black and white TVs anymore.
But people still watch them.
Those of you who wish to can turn down the color, perhaps, if they even have knobs on them that do that anymore. Color TV is the norm now.
I usually, I don't have any knobs anymore. It's that needle nose pliers with the.
Oh, I see.
I haven't had knobs in years.
Stack. Right.
Yes.
So you were talking last week on part one of the show that how you would you print these now yourself. You've
yes, and I'll hold this up very nice and steadily.
So you
paper cut.
This is a new print of an old poster.
This is a poster I rebuilt. In other words, went in masterfully into the computer.
Digitally remastered, ladies and gentlemen. And
remastered this from the original drawing.
So you didn't have to do any silk screens?
No. No. The iris. I'm saying there are some iris prints here, but my Epson printer, which my stepfather bought for me for Christmas.
What a sweetie.
But, you know, I bought my own computer, though, by selling Xerox prints. And the Xerox prints sold so well at my art show, I made $1,000 selling Xerox color prints. And because I remembered over the years people saying, you know, if there's ever any way I could get some sort of a little copy of that or something. I can't afford the painting, but I'd like to have the image. You know, that just
man, I always said
that residue in my mind.
I have a couple now,
and now people can get these affordably.
So so this is a new type of printing.
I guess.
Well, you scan it in and print it out.
Yeah, I built it in the computer and then printed it on a what you call it, iris. I don't know. I keep saying Epson. I'm sorry, Mr. Epson.
I'm not sure Joe Epson watches this show.
I thought it was Buddy Epson.
He's busy with his salt. He's busy with his salt enterprise.
Oh, it was Mr. Epson of the salt. I'm sorry. I thought it was Buddy Epson.
So you get a nice density of hue.
Yeah, and this
some heck of a nice colors too.
Yeah,
I know that this is. I'm just completely pleased. I mean, at first when I had the printer, when I finish at night, I'd go over and go, "Oh, thank you," and sit there and pet it like it was some sort of a little machine.
It is.
I mean, some sort of a entity, and I would do the same to my computer.
Yeah.
You know, I'd just go, "Oh God, I'm so glad you're there." You know, don't break down, and it's find myself kind of getting this fetish going, or something, kind of rubbing it and going, Then I thought, well, this is not so stupid. You know, this, if anything, can understand what I'm saying. If any machine in the world is going to understand it, it's going to be this G4. You know, but who knows? But what, you know, it said, oh, well, thanks, dude. You know, not many people are aware that
it's a complex nervous system. It
yeah,
might actually have
it has a better memory than I do.
Well,
so you have
considerably better.
So you do have a phone number for these, for your prints that are available?
It's on my business card.
You can just call them up.
No, I'm in the phone book. But anyway, sure, 416-8162. But no prank phone calls.
And that is a South Austin phone call.
Yeah.
Yes, South Austin. Straight to South Austin.
Yes, it's
And so
what's that over there?
You brought a bunch of these smaller prints, I've noticed.
These are the little $40 and $50 ones, which are printed on really nice paper. Here's Joe Carroll Pierce. Oh, wait, I moved it. Let me just point over here. Okay.
Hey, there you go. Style it a little bit, Blackie.
Of my current wife, Joe Carroll. And
that's
I'll
Joe
say that
Carroll.
was a stupid thing to do, wasn't it?
Yep, because now everybody thinks you're married to Warren.
Okay. No, that didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out hardly much at all.
Okay, that was a scanned from a painting which fortunately was small enough to fit on my scanner and get in one piece.
Astounding.
So now everyone can have this beautiful print. And here's one of Warren. Everyone
now tell me the story on Warren. He's got ears as big as LBJ.
Warren was a little toothless man.
Yeah, a little feller who worked at Show Enough Studios, which we haven't discussed yet either.
Oh, that's true. We used to have the studio.
Show Enough?
Yes.
Certainly did.
How was
the
that spelled?
Austin Laundry Building.
How was that spelled?
S-H-E-A-U-X-N-O-U-G-H.
Show Enough.
We caught Danny Garrett on several occasions answering the phone, shucks no.
I can't remember the phone number.
What can you do to us?
Yeah.
Right.
Shucks no. Show Enough.
Worked either way.
70 something, I forget. Anyway, Warren was the little toothless man that was the general factotum around the building that Show Enough was housed in. And he cleaned up around there, and he had no teeth, and he was hilarious. And he had been a ward of the state when he was a young boy.
Really?
And he'd been working there since he was a teenager, which was 50, 60 years.
Yeah, I looked. He wasn't young at the time of this.
And he used to come in and play checkers with Danny, who he
And
called.
beat him every time.
Beat him every
No
time.
one could beat Warren at checkers
That's
because he
right.
was born with the checkerboard in my hand, as he would.
And his big quote was, "I don't cheat,"
Yeah.
as he beat your trousers plumb off, game after game after game. He called. Danny was always threatening him that the monsters were going to get him. He never could remember Danny's name, so he just called him Old Monsters.
Monster. Yeah.
Old Monsters. And what? Can you talk like him? He does pretty good voice.
I don't cheat.
Yeah,
That's as close as I can.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Warren, I'm going to throw you up on the roof.
Ah.
The very first morning I was at Show Enough, I had spent the night there just to get the feel of it, and I woke up and I'd never seen Warren before. Here's this little old man bending down over me. I have no glasses on, so I can't see what it is. And he's mumbling something, and I can't figure it out. I have to adjust to hear toothless little old person speak. And I finally figure out he wants to know if I'm the one growing the marijuana in his leak buckets. He had some leak buckets, and somebody had taken them out on the roof of the building, filled them with potting soil, and had some pretty good-sized plants growing in there. And
that's before the high-rises came in around that area.
Well, they hadn't put in the University Bank that blocked off our lovely sunset. We used to have a great roof garden with sunset.
Yeah, the view blocker.
It was wonderful. You know, there's 30 or 40 artists, and BBA Management and Fable Records was up there. We had Schlotsky's Bakery under the stairs.
Melissa Miller.
Melissa Miller moved in after they moved out, but they would bake all night. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, come around banging on the doors to see if anybody wanted any bread. They figured they'd been torturing you, so you should collect.
Right there, 15th and Lavaca.
16th and Lavaca.
16th and Lavaca. Oh, across from the liquor store.
Yes, right across from Dan's Liquor. And we produced some art over there. How many of these arts around here got produced in that area? I'm pretty sure that Ed Stock.
Maybe Ed Stock. I'm not certain. That's where we met Big Bucks Burnett, though.
That is true.
And
according to this poster, T-Bone Burnett played on
maybe
that show.
Liberty, the rock and roll trivia, perhaps. This is all actually somewhat
relatively new in that.
1985 or whatever.
Ah.
See, yeah, we did all that early work.
Color printing.
Trivia's 84.
Well, most of these happened after Bebop Printing came along and brought us
That's good.
serigraphs.
We can't just show your old stuff. Everybody's seen your old stuff. We've got to move on with your
Well, how do you figure that?
80s.
Only us old farts have seen his old stuff.
There's some 90s stuff here. I'm trying to think what my most recent piece here is. I guess
Flatlanders?
Don?
No, Don Walter, maybe. The Doug Somm was kind of around this, made in the 90s.
You'll find
Actually in 2000.
You'll find Don Walter playing in South Austin a lot.
Tuesday nights, Don Walter plays at Jovita's.
That's Don Walter.
Yeah, now, as Cornell says, we say Don Walter, and everybody has to lose it completely and go, Don. Anyway,
yeah,
we use that routine in our show.
Well,
So, but if you go on Tuesday night, you'll get Don Walter, and you'll go, oh, I meant to come Thursday night to see Blackie, the sensational Blackie White, shade tree gynecologist, sing and entertain with the Cornell Herd Band. Which, as you all know, Blackie White is this guy who looks very much like me and has been having an affair with my wife.
and he's a hell of a guitar player, too.
On the side.
Yeah, and he plays guitar, and he plays wild rhythms, and sings.
Wild throbbing rhythms.
Kind of does these little dances, like these little things like that, to entertain the children in the audience who flock to his.
It's a family.
Like
it's a family crowd.
Yeah, it's well, we do get that element. We do get a nasty little family element in there sometime, but we run them off within 10 or 15 minutes.
And of course, you play so late, that the kids are usually passed out, I guess, by the end of the show.
We play early, from 8 till 10.
8 to 10.
Yeah, and that's our regular show, but that's the experimental show.
Jovitas, Thursdays.
We're trying to catch up to a record right now of doing 500 songs in 5 years. And we're about 30 or 40 songs. Yeah, different songs.
Different songs.
No, yeah, not.
No, they have a regular attendee who they try and stump each and every Thursday night by playing a song she doesn't know or doesn't know they know.
Yeah.
And this has been going on as long as I've been seeing them.
Sort of like Stump the Band.
Yeah,
Right,
except in this case it's Stump the, what's that lady's name?
Alana Foster.
Alana.
She
Hump the Band.
She's one of our biggest fans, and
A real sweetie. She's been known to pass the shark.
yeah, we got a lot of steady fans who come there, and we put them to work eventually. If you come, 10 or 12 times in a row, eventually you have to start carrying equipment for the band, and
You can become part of the
passing
family.
the tip jar.
A family. It can be a family.
Well, some of the finest dancers on the dance floor are Dee's sister and his
Yeah,
brother-in-law.
my sister Ann and Ray Brown, her husband.
It'll just give you a
Cut
wonderful
the rug, do
feeling
they?
to watch them
Yeah,
dance.
they're very excellent.
They're
dancers.
excellent dancers.
And they're
it
getting
just
now
makes
to where
you
they'll
feel
dance
good.
a little at Jovita's, which just has a kind of about a year-old dance floor in it and hasn't gotten that broken spoke slickiness to
There's
it.
no patina to it to speak of. It's pretty grotesque. But at least they got one now.
Yeah. That's the hardest working club in South Austin.
It is indeed.
Yes, it
Getting
is.
prettier all the time.
Restaurante E Cantina.
Yes.
Sing.
Good food. Excellent.
Excellent food.
Yeah, the food has really picked up in the last year.
And of course,
go
that big
pick some
South
up.
Austin sign outside.
And you know how much they're paying me for this plug? All the free drinks I want.
Wow, well, maybe I'll come hang around here.
Unfortunately, they don't know
Iced
this
tea
yet.
and coffee.
I was going to say I could come stand next to you and smell your breath and get high, but you were talking about like an alcoholic beverage.
Oh, certainly not.
I don't drink.
Nothing but root beer.
Oh wait, I said in the last week on the show that I drank, right?
Well, that was last week.
That was a joke.
That was
No, I quit drinking. since then.
You are correct, sir.
A lot has happened in that last week. You know, my whole life has changed.
It's
Yeah.
You look
Quit
different.
drinking?
You look different.
Yeah.
Well, quitting drinking will do that to you, you know.
Yeah, my drinking is on the rocks now.
Hey.
And since he don't drink anymore, he don't have to change shirts.
But, you know, when I finish here, I think we should go out and have a beer. You know, or I could have one of those false beers.
We've got one of those margarita machines in the hall.
Ooh.
Hey, now we're
Some sort
talking.
of rock gut tequila in it.
Right gut tequila.
Mmm.
Headache juice.
What's that over there?
Where?
So this is a kitty cat?
Yeah, that's a black cat special that I did for Marty, who was the printer of our early silkscreen prints. Actually, the only one.
See,
I should say.
and didn't he print those in South Austin?
No, they were printed on 6th Street.
Oh, I thought maybe
Then later, some were printed in South Austin.
he moved to South Austin where
South Austin.
where the topless and bottomless joint is now.
Right.
Topless and bottomless. Stark frickin' naked.
All they have on is the radio
That's
in
right.
that part of South Austin. And this was his cat?
Yes. And that was an oil painting which got committed to a slide.
Hey, everybody put your hand
Now,
over your heart, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of,
the Yellow Rose of Texas.
I see dead people. That would be Mrs. Roy Rogers.
I'll have
Where
my
is she?
portraits.
Where'd she go? She was there a minute
The
ago.
woman that you used to see on top of buttermilk,
That's true.
if I recall. Buttermilk.
Man, oh man.
Hey.
Hey. Y'all be nice back there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dale Evans by Guy
This
Juke.
is a cable show.
This is a recent piece I did. Actually, this is done in about 2001, I think, for Texas Monthly. Had me
Really?
back for a return visit.
back in 2001.
10 years later, yeah.
Yeah, about every 10 years or so
We get one.
remember that.
And they got so much.
Actually, whenever they run out of things to put, they put a story about us poster artists.
Well, there's always a visual content.
Frank Kozik article.
Right.
So what would you call that? What would you call that background color? Dusky teal.
Yes, a dusky teal.
Dusky teal.
That's actually mixed up in the computer. This was when I scanned in 2 pieces and the background didn't quite come in right.
Huh?
I could do the surgery around the Frankensteinium neck.
So you've become a real computer geek in the art world.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't use the computer, but yeah, I'm trying to become a geek, but it's so overpowering sometimes. I'm slowly learning to do the things I need to do to make money first, and then I'll sit back and go,
Well, ACC has campuses in South Austin for geekdom to become more geeky.
Well,
But they're out of his
do it.
7-block radius.
You
I don't
you
want
can't
to
walk
drive
through.
across the river.
Well, he don't want to drive across Ben White Boulevard.
I bring people to my house to train me. Actually, I was trained by Sam Hurt, the I-beam.
Who we need to get over here sometime.
Yeah, well,
you know?
he-
He's
Sam
a
Hurt, who lives in
kind of a
South
guy.
Austin.
He's a South Austin guy.
Who lives in your zip code,
And he was
78704?
kind enough to have me over to teach me the basics of what I had to do.
To that nice studio of his?
And then I got totally hooked on the computer thing. And
You're hooked.
had to get one, yes. It's an addiction, for
Yeah.
sure. The real
But
addiction
it's
is buying the
an addiction. You
ink
can wear
jet.
short sleeve shirts though with this addiction, with that particular addiction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, right, exactly. Just I have little arm pimples, which on TV are going to look real bad.
Well, they add 10 pounds to each. The TV adds 10 pounds to each pimple.
Can we move on to the next topic here, ladies and
The next
gentlemen?
topic after.
This could go off in a bad direction.
I'm telling you.
Okay, Johnny Lane.
Yes.
My line of deceased rock star
It is
series.
dead. I see dead people.
Okay.
There's a density. I guess you run through a lot of color on your fonts in these when you print up.
You can only print so many before you have to go out in some dark alley and buy a little ink cartridge. And
I
then
just found out about some refillable ones.
Yeah, I know everyone's talking about that, but
I haven't
don't
actually
refill
seen
them,
one.
folks. Yeah, right. They don't make
And I don't know
refills
what you
for mine.
refill them with.
Oh, I don't know. Just ketchup and mustard, I guess.
Man juice.
And what is that kept in? What do you do with the package that came in? There used to be a place over there next to the Lavaca Street bar that claimed to recycle the blasted thing.
Well, that's nice. I've been advised against doing it because I've been told that I would be making a trip to get my printer repaired real fast if I started refilling them myself. I could literally refill them out. I mean, I've probably got 20 or 30 empties sitting around that I could probably go in there and pull out and, you know, inject. There it's really getting into a drug area.
I know. What the heck?
You have to go buy needles. You know?
I was gonna say,
Oh, Lord, let's move on to the next topic.
All right, I forgot, Michael. I don't like needles either, so folks, don't do it.
I know, it's...
Right. Don't refill your ink.
And what is this one?
Okay, here's a thing I did for Sound Exchange a long time ago, and I rebuilt
very
it.
Nice.
I found the actual line art from it.
But you know, I could swear that says Record Exchange.
It does, yeah. I couldn't figure out a way to get that out of
Four
there. I
of
thought,
them,
well,
huh?
why not?
Yes.
So you can go back in and change these colors?
Yeah, I can make those. You let me know what color your couch is, folks, and I will match.
He can make sofa-size art and make it match.
That's wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a heck of a modern world, and we're in it.
And here's a portrait of Guy Forsyth, which I did for the newspaper.
If you like an image that you did, you can get the colors changed to match your living room or your bedroom or wherever you're above the WC.
It's cheaper than having to go out and paint your wall to match my artwork.
That's
right. So you can provide unique prints, unique color schemes. Scheme. I guess that would be more of a color scheme.
Yeah, it's a scheme.
A scheme of yours involving color to move prints.
All right, you are, Artley.
Thank you very much. It's great being back here on the.
Yes.
Isn't it, though?
It's been too long.
And here we have. It has been almost exactly too long. In fact, we're just about out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're glad you came by.
Okay.
We want you to see this one right here.
This is a big show.
Oh, my goodness. Isn't she pretty?